Hello dear survivors, today I've got something incredibly exciting to share with you. A survival game that has completely reeled me in. You see, I played like 200 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 in my first playthrough and it was really good. But everyone needs a breather, right? That's when I stumbled upon this pleasant surprise. For an early access game, it is really polished. I spent more than 100 hours exploring this world and only encountered 3 minor bugs. 2 of which was kind of funny, as one made me immune to gunfire, while the other caused my boat to fly into the air whenever I stood on it. So, if you're into survival, base defense, or base building games, you want to check this out on Steam. The positive review speaks volumes, and it's easy to see why. This game was made available on 26th of August last month, and it's been winning hearts ever since. The price tag, a mere $13.60, is an absolute steal, especially considering it won't have your PC working overtime like Baldur's Gate 3. To give you an idea of how I would rate it, if you asked me to rate Baldur's Gate 3, I would give it a solid 9. But for this early access game, I'd comfortably rate it around 7. Anyway, let's dive straight into this game. Now, I have to admit, the graphic design options here are a bit limited. But that's okay, because we don't play survival games to spend hours designing characters, right? Plus, most of the time, you will be in first-person mode, so no need to stress about your character's looks, cause there won't be any reflections in-game to check yourself out anyways. Moreover, food, water, building your base, and defending it should be more important than combing your hair or brushing your teeth. So, with not a valid name, we will create game, new world, or the blah blah blah, and the e-sea. There. So I have previously played a few hours of this game before making this recording, and know the rough locations of resources that can be gathered around the starting point, which is the Castaway Island. You can actually change the starting point in the creation screen you saw earlier. But I highly recommend against that, since the last time I did so, the game threw me to the bottom right corner of the map, and I got killed by enemies with guns while trying to scavenge resources from the nearest island. I didn't get much chance to run as they fired from quite a far distance, and it only took like 2 to 3 bullets before I was killed. By the way, the most abundant resource in this game are wood planks, as trees, shrubs, and bushes are very common. They respawn after a while. Each tree gives you 4 logs, which amounts to around 16 planks, while bushes give you 4 planks. On top of that, there is a lot of furniture you can find underwater that you may harvest for wood. And if you harvest every wood you see, you have so much wood that you might not know what to do with it. But I'm not implying that you shouldn't make a habit of harvesting all the wood you see, as they are useful even in the later parts of the game when... So, when you're starting off in this game, wood is best used for 1. Making arrows for your bow. Speaking of bows, it should be one of the first few weapons you get, as melee in this game is very punishing. 2. Building planters. You would need at least 1, but if you intend to make gardening your main source of food, then I would recommend around 5 to 10. Excess food can always be cooked and used for trading. 3. Building wooden storage boxes. These are really a must-have and probably the most worthwhile thing to use wood for, as later storage containers do not give much extra space. The only difference is that they are more durable than wooden storages, and most of them look better too. 4. Build bonfires on platforms or mini outposts throughout the map. Bonfires themselves require wood to build and consume wood as fuel too. They are mainly used for providing heat and light at night, and are ideal to be built on platforms, especially when you are exploring or scavenging resources in underwater locations far away from your main base. Another thing I would like to mention is that strawberries are a really great source of food. It not only fills your hunger and thirst meters, but can be used together with mushrooms to make stamina mixes as well. These mixes not only replenish your stamina, but also increases its regeneration rate. Using strawberries for these mixes are probably one of the best ways for you to use strawberries, as more time awake doing stuff usually means getting ahead faster. So, as I've mentioned earlier, I've previously spent some time playing this game before this recording, so I know there's a trader on that platform right there. That's why the default starting location is a really good location to build your main base. I started with wooden foundations as I had a full inventory, but it is better if you could start off with metal foundations as they will last till middle to late game. I kind of am particular when it comes to building my base, so I'll be skipping some footage of resource gathering and base building. But before I do, please like and subscribe, as it only takes 2 clicks from you for the 6 hours or more I've spent creating the 5 to 6 minutes of video you have watched so far. Okay, ta-da! So this is my base. It is basically a 5x5 platform with a toilet, a hole in the center. Lovely, isn't it? I actually planned to put a fish trap there, and now I'm building a ladder for me to get into my base from underwater. Don't worry about enemies coming in from here because they aren't smart enough. I thought they would want to anyway. What? I'm also building a water purifier beside it so that I can easily refill water for purification. I've basically spent the whole of day 1 and 2 scavenging resources in the surrounding vicinity, and in doing so, it has reminded me to share some valuable insights, especially for those new to this immersive game. First off, the most important items that you should make as soon as you can are the sack and the diving fins. The sack gives you 5 extra inventory slots and costs 6 cloth and 1 rope to make. This amounts to a total of 9 cloth, and it is well worth it as having the ability to carry more loot with each scavenging expedition will save you immense amounts of time and effort. Diving fins on the other hand cost 3 marlinfish skins and 2 ropes and gives a substantial swim speed boost. This boost is really invaluable, especially during your early game underwater scavenging hunts. For the marlinfish skins, don't worry about marlins as they are non-hostile fish and will not retaliate even if attacked. As for other basic tools like the repairing hammer, bow, and pickaxe, they can wait a bit. But here's a friendly reminder. By day 3, please ensure you've got a bow and a handful of arrows ready because that's when enemies will launch their first attack on your base. Now that we've got our basics covered, let's talk about a few game changes that will make our adventure in Sunkenland even more exciting and efficient. After ensuring you have all your essential items in check, the next thing on your survival checklist should be a boat. Boats are absolute game changers, as they not only whisk you across the waters at an impressive speed, but also come with a handy on-board chest for extra storage. Oh, and here's a little secret that players are abusing right now. You can make your boat fly by looking down while sailing and continuously pressing P to push it forward. Apparently, this happens because the speed of your boat is directly linked to the game's frame rate. Anyway, moving on, when it comes to boat choices, I would recommend starting with sailboat. Motorboats might seem tempting, but you would have to find its blueprint, and on top of that, they require precious gasoline to operate, which could be used to power generators down the line. As of the moment, the only scenario where I feel motorboats are superior is when you are using it to attack enemy floating platforms from a distance. By continuously moving your boat and firing, you will make it incredibly challenging for enemies to hit you, as AI in this game targets your current position and doesn't anticipate your future movements. Speaking of movements, when held down, the run or rather shift button also increases the speed of your boat. Going back to the topic of tools for easier exploration, we have flares. Flares might not seem like much during the day, but they are your nighttime saviors. So if you would prefer not to be restricted from nighttime underwater scavenging, remember to reserve a spot in your hotkey or inventory for these glowing lifesavers. Without them, the freezing debuff coupled with dimly lit underwater surroundings can render you almost blind. In my previous playthrough, I once found myself trapped in a dark room and came close to drowning because I could not find an exit for this very reason. For a fancier option, you might want to consider the lantern helmet. Next, we have the underwater scooter. This is currently the fastest way to travel underwater, and you can take one up at the trader. Like the lantern helmet, it also runs on batteries. So if batteries are scarce, here's a tip. Carry multiple air tanks. Air tanks are free to refill, unlike batteries, which needs generators that require gasoline. I hope I can make it back in time. I actually thought they would attack at night, because that was what happened for my first attack the last playthrough. Luckily, I built walls, otherwise they might be destroying my chests and purifier now. I wonder what the game has sent to attack me this time. It always sent me Naked Man in my last playthrough. Is it Naked Man again? Oh my god. Why does the game always keep sending Naked Man to me? It is very irritating, you know. Get lost, like asshole. Leave me alone. The next time you all come, I call police. Report all of you for harassment. Oh my god. Go away lah. I don't want to repair you. Okay guys, I will be right back as it is boring to see me repair my base. Alright, so I have just finished repairing my base and organizing stuff in my chest. While doing so, I actually recalled myself mentioning about flares earlier. So here's how it's like to scavenge underwater without flares at night. On that note, I would like to jump back to the topic we were discussing before the attack, which brings me to the last point about marker flags. I did not actually care about marker flags in the past, as I simply opened the map to see where the castaway island is when it comes to navigating back to my main base. However, as you expand your reach throughout the map, it will become increasingly necessary for organization. That is when these nifty little tools will come in handy, as it will help you in marking your outposts, marking spots for scavenging locations you stopped at, and the EPC locations for the blah blah blah. In short, marker flags are very cheap, costing only 5 wood and 1 cloth to craft. So feel free to craft them as they will make it a breeze to find your way back to any location you have marked. Oh, and speaking of crafting, have you noticed those numbers on the shield icon at the bottom left of each build item? Those indicate your toughness level. It is a handy detail to consider when planning your base building, a topic which I will cover in my next Sunkenland video. For now, I will need to concentrate on scavenging in the dark, as it is hard to see and I run out of oxygen fast. I am also scared of sharks, and when I am searching through debris like right now, it is commonly in the back of my mind that a shark will come up to bite me. That actually happened to me once in my last playthrough, and at that time, I did not have any armor on. So I took quite a lot of damage, like 1/6 to 1/4 of my health. Therefore, it is always good to have armor. And on this note, I would recommend getting the metal armor because I think it is quite easy to make and probably the best armor you can get without having to find broken components that can only be gotten via scavenging. Wow! That's a really nice night sky. I have always found the night sky to be relaxing, and in the past, I used to have the hobby of stargazing. Sadly, there are not many stars in the skies of where I live, and they are often filled with clouds at night. Anyway, I'm actually hoping to find enough plastic on this scavenging trip so that I can build a motorboat. I actually got lucky and found a blueprint as well as a few cans of gasoline during one of my scavenging hunts in the first 2 days. So it is at the top of my priority to build it now. And since we are scavenging, I would like to share with you some things as well as a bug about it. The first thing I would like to share is that clothing and decorations are mostly for aesthetic purposes. They do not have much trading value, and on top of that, they cannot be recycled. Hence, if you are lacking inventory space while scavenging, I believe they are the best items to be left behind. Number 2. Other than trees, other resources that will respawn over time include scallop rocks, ore veins, and certain crops such as wild potatoes and strawberries. And the last thing I wish to share before I share about the bug is actually more for completionists. So the third point is that if you are unsure why you have not completed scavenging a location entirely, you may want to check the top right hand corner of your screen to see which location you are currently at. Some locations extend further away from the icon than you might think. So if you are particular about completing an entire area, it is best to take a systematic approach towards scavenging and adopting that system for every location. If you do that and build platforms in scavenging locations to place wooden chests for temporary storage, or marker flags at the spots you stop scavenging, or bonfires to keep you warm, or the EPC building you want, then it will be much easier for you to complete and track your scavenging journey. Okay, so for the scavenging bug, it is actually a bug that allows you to harvest an infinite amount of resources from a given source. Firstly, for non-container resource nodes such as cars, tires, and etc., in order to harvest an infinite amount of resource from it, you have to stop before you finish harvesting it completely. And then you must log out and then log back in again. This will also work if you are underwater and out of air. So although I try not to use glitch, I am not proud to tell you I avoided drowning in my last playthrough by logging out when I could not find an exit while scavenging in the dark. And for containers, resource nodes like the rubbish bin, toilet bowl, and the etc., you can reset it too by leaving or putting the rubbish or before you log out. And then when you log back in again, tada! You will see your grow into useful items. Okay, so if you enjoyed the magic trick I've just revealed, I would be grateful if you could make 2 simple clicks now to like and subscribe. Making this video has been a labor of love, spending nearly a week, and being my second video, I've poured my heart and soul into its creation. As I'm on a constant learning journey, I would also appreciate your thoughts and feedback, so feel free to leave a comment. While you're doing so, let's take a break and listen to some relaxing music. Oh my god, talks! Sorry. it is wrong track. I am actually not sure what kind of music is suitable for scavenging in the dark. So maybe you can suggest some copyright-free soundtracks to me for my future videos. But for now, I have read about this online. Quote, the slow melodic tunes of piano music can help to lower the heart rate and blood pressure, which can create a calming effect on the body and mind. Additionally, listening to piano music can also activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and relaxation, unquote. So give me a moment while Okay, here's some relaxing piano music for us to listen to while we take a break. Okay, I'm safe on land, so that's the end of our break. I believe the piano has made the sharks relaxed, so I probably don't have to worry about them attacking me for some time. Now, let's gracefully return to our video and gather up the vital wisdom we have uncovered. These insights are perfect for a solid head start. However, if you are yearning to take the game to a more serious and competitive level, I will propose a swift strategic approach. If you are curious about my rapid strategy which doesn't abuse glitches and can grant you air tanks, firearms, and a secure haven by day 3, simply express your interest, and if there's enough demand, I will gladly release an unedited gameplay footage showing not only that, but how to acquire coveted endgame vehicles and items like the gyrocopter really early into the game. However, be forewarned that it will be rather restrictive on how you can play the game initially. Circling back to our vital insights, when starting out, the set and the diving fins are really great early game changes. Afterwards, consider expanding your toolkit with a bow or another weapon, a handy repaired hammer, as well as a pickaxe. These should be on your shopping list before thinking about crafting that sailboat. By the way, you might be tempted by the lure of a paddle boat, but let me share a little secret between us. It's just not worth the fuss. Those components and precious metals can be put to better use. We have also learned that underwater scooters can be gotten from the trader, and that if you find yourself in a pickle trying to get batteries for it, a quick solution would be to set up multiple fish traps for a constant supply of bargaining chips and food. Alternatively, you could venture into researching air tanks. Having 4 or 5 of these little wonders in your inventory will set you up perfectly for your underwater escapades with those fins. Now, as our last break wasn't a full one due to interruptions, I would like to take a proper pause now as I have stumbled upon an incredibly captivating instrumental track that I'm eager to share with you. So let's take a moment to kick back, relax, and let the music sweep us away. And as I really enjoy the music that I am about to share with you, I'm also curious to hear any fitting lyrics that might take shape in your creative minds while listening to it. Alternatively, we can indulge in a bit of a guessing game. See if you can discern my intentions by observing my actions as I work on building the base. Ladies and gentlemen, Hawaii by Waesto. So here's another one for a bright sunny day. This one's entitled Spring in My Step by Silent Partner. Well, spring in my step sure ended abruptly, didn't it? So, what do you think about Hawaii? It really brightens my day. That and some Neffex songs are currently on my favorites list. That's why I would really like to know if any of you can come up with lyrics for Hawaii, as I am thinking of singing it and then using it for my future videos. Of course, I would give credits to you or anyone who provides those lyrics. Anyway, let's get back to the game. It is day 4 now and we are still looking for enough rubber to build that motorboat. So it is time for the tasty meal to swim around in Joss's world again. Because apparently she has nothing better to do than to get eaten alive. We will be heading back to the village, which is the sunken location I came back from after scavenging for a whole night on day 3. For those who are unaware, the village is the closest place to the castaway island for harvesting sulfur. Sulfur is used together with charcoal to make early game gunpowder. That in turn is used to make ammunition for basic firearms. Sulfur deposits around the castaway island are mostly found underwater, and you guys weren't watching out for me, were you? Maybe that was my real voice, but as I was saying, and like all veins, they spawn around 3 days after after we have harvested them. For iron ores, there is a small cluster of them at Small Rock Island southwest of the trading post, but it is preoccupied with hostiles. There's also quite a number of them at District 43, which is the underwater location southwest of the castaway island. The ore detector can help you with searching for ore veins if you are not familiar with their location, but it requires batteries to operate. Knowing the location of ore veins is really crucial for a rushing strategy, as that strategy emphasizes on building and upgrading your research table as fast as possible, as well as researching and making the bare minimum of items required for you to advance your technology till you reach endgame. Anyway, I will be playing a few more songs, and when we return, we will be touching lightly on the importance of strategy for base building. The concept I will be sharing might be rather basic for you, but it is general knowledge that is applicable not only in this game, but many other games in other genres as well, such as strategy or city building. So without further ado, here's more songs for us to enjoy. This one is entitled Happy Life by Fredji. we have something a little different. But this one is close to my heart, as it was inspiring me while I was facing hard times making this video. So please show some support if you would like me to continue producing videos about gaming. Here comes Things Are Gonna Get Better by Neffex.
Growing up, parents got me a guitar. Said you could do anything, kid, you could go far. You could be the president, fireman, race cars. The sky's the limit, kid, so shoot for the stars. So I strummed that guitar every day. Found a passion for music, never went away. I joined a couple bands and played a few shows. Tried to impress the girl in the front row. But soon enough, everything starts to change. As you grow up, nobody treats you the same. They try to take your future and make it real safe. You could be a doctor, accountant, or something sane. But yo, whatever happened to the sky was the limit. I fell in love with music, never thought it was a gimmick. I worked so hard on every tune and every single lyric. My whole identity depended on being artistic. Now you wanna strip that away, so you feel okay? Cause if I make it to the top, what does that really say? That you shouldn't have given up, that you made the mistake? But if I fail, you feel much better about picking your lane, right? Yeah, things are gonna get better real soon. Yeah, I'ma just do me, you just do you. I swear it's gonna get better real soon. Don't let anyone tell you what you should do. I got a clear view, we're gonna make it soon. Just keep pushing through. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. Just keep pushing through. Cause what you got to lose, 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 got to lose. I won't give up, I won't back down till the line 6 feet underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. I won't give up, I won't back down till the line 6 feet underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. Be honest, life's a competition. So if I'm going to play, then I'm gonna play to win it. I refuse to sit and rot at a desk all day unless I have a passion I'm working towards, okay? I'd rather be dead on the outside than inside. A bullet to the head than 25 to life in a cubicle alone, just trying to get by, building someone else's dream instead of building mine. If you're hearing me, this is meant to inspire. If you have a dream or if you have desires, a girl in your life that's making you feel that fire, go fight for her man, go die for her man. Cause you only have one life, one chance to do it, one chance to prove it to yourself, so don't lose it. You got this, fam, just keep pushing on through it. One day you'll look back so glad you pursued it. Yeah, things are gonna get better real soon. Yeah, I'ma just do me, you just do you. I swear it's gonna get better real soon. Don't let anyone tell you what you should do. I got a clear view, we're gonna make it soon. Just keep pushing through. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. Just keep pushing through. Cause what you got to lose, 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 got to lose. I won't give up, I won't back down till the line 6 feet underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. I won't give up, I won't back down till the line 6 feet underneath the deep ground. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. You won't stop you now, because I got this now. I got the formula and I'm about to drop it loud. So what we talking about. There is no talking now. We take action with passion, we're rocking now. It's tick-tocking now, the clock's talking down. And all I hear is haters try so hard to talk me down, but they can't stop the sound, already on the ground. Everything is growing faster than I can count. You ain't gon' stop me now, because I got this now. I got the formula and I'm about to drop it loud. So what we talking about? There is no talking now. We take action with passion, we're rocking now. It's tick-tocking now, the clock's talking down. And all I hear is haters try so hard to talk me down, but they can't stop the sound, already on the ground. Everything is growing faster than I can count.
Okay, so that's the end of our break. Next, I would like to share some views of mine regarding building a proper base. Contrary to common practice, I actually feel that it is not that urgent to set up base. This is because I believe that initially, we really only need a temporary place to store our items. Speaking of which, building wood and metal shelvings is totally not worth it, as they can only store 30 wood or metal, which is equivalent to 2 mega storage slots compared to the 25 storage slots that a wooden storage box provides. On top of that, storage slots in storage boxes are capable of storing any given resource, not just wood or metal. So you might be wondering, if I do not believe setting up a proper base is urgent at the start of the game,
She's out of her mind.
then what is? The answer, my dear viewers, is crafting those basic items and collecting all the materials you will need for your future base. I know my suggestion goes beyond the norm, but that's because it is all about thoughtful planning. Eventually, you might want to locate your base in an area that respawns more resources than the Castaway Island. Or maybe, you would like a more scenic and defensible location. Or maybe, you would want the ETC and the blah blah blah. But whatever the reason, delaying your base's construction is naturally entirely up to you. And with that, we will bring this video to a close. I will delve deeper into base building in my next Sunkenland video, and that decision to make that largely depends on the response I receive from this one. Otherwise, I will explore more popular games like Baldur's Gate 3 or Armored Core 6. Until then, thank you for joining me, and please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Arigatou gozaimashita, and see you next video.